Well, hello and welcome. We are the Shills, a group of YouTube creators and debunkers coming together for live roundtable chats, live debunks, guests, interviews, and more. Joining us tonight, we have a man who takes his space exploration in style, with a drink in one hand and a guitar in the other. Oh yeah, we have the Casual Spaceman on the show, and tonight we'll be looking at shocked quartz wormholes in Mexico. Yes, Ancient Aliens is still on the air. Thank you, History Channel. And we have sun temperatures over a flat Earth. What can I say, people? It's the Silly Shill Show. Now, let me turn this over to a man who took a rage-filled drive down the sidewalk of Flat Earth Avenue. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Jimbojo.
Thank you very much indeed, Dick Dawson. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, wherever you are. I'm Jimbojo. You're watching the Silly Shill midweek show, and we are the Shells. Hello. Now, thanks everyone once again for coming. We've got a killer show for you today. Aside from the usual bevy of madcap claims and intelligent responses, we've got a great guest today. He's one of the best known faces from our little corner of the interwebs. But before I give the game away, let's go around the table and find out who's who and what's what. First up, Dick Dawson. Hello, mate. How are you doing? What have you been up to this week?
Well, I've been up to quite a bit this week on the personal side, but on the YouTube side, it's starting to become absolutely crazy how often we have to look to the History Channel to see what they have fucked up next. It is just crazy. What's going on here, man? Now, I could rant and rave, but obviously I'll save that till later, so I'll just send it back to you, man. Take it easy here.
Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be brilliant. And you're absolutely right. What is it about the History Channel? They're like this unending well, right? Logical Troglodyte. Hello, Squire. How are you doing today, mate?
Oh, we're having a wonderful day, and how about you, Jim?
I'm doing just grand, thank you. Now, have you been up to anything this week you want to tell the lovely ladies and gentlemen at home about?
Oh, we have been up to a lot in Cave Town. Jeff from Steven Cup and Reason and I have been collaborating on a brand new channel called Logic and Reason, which we will be taking a very serious look at individual conspiracy claims. We are inviting a very interesting cast of panel members for each show that we already have planned. Our first episode will be airing on midnight, September the 8th, Central Daylight Time, which would be 6 a.m. September the 8th on British summertime. We're going to be taking a look at the conspiracy claim that education is indoctrination, and to help us in that conversation, we will have Conspiracy Cats and AT2 Productions.
Wow, that sounds absolutely magnificent. I would definitely be getting over there. Everyone listening, you are going to have to go over and watch that. That sounds like an absolute blast. All right, well, thank you very much indeed. Next up on the list, we've got the Sarcastic Barman. Hello, mate. How's the ironic publican trade doing?
Hello! It's not doing too bad. It was a fucking busy weekend. Jesus Christ. August bank holidays with 30 degrees average of fucking temperatures, just fucking horrendous in the kitchen and a bar.
Yeah, I bet. Absolutely.
Just fucking everywhere. Fucking everywhere. So glad it's over. Last bank holiday of the year. Thank fucking God. Well, it's not just the endless massive heat, it's the endless massive fucking nutters who don't know what they fucking want. It's like, why does the heat make people stupider?
Oh, tell me about it. Well, it's perfect for us, though, isn't it?
It's all good.
All right, well, look, what have you been up to this week? Now, look, I know that you've been having a bit of a tough one because your internet's been an absolute nightmare, and I assume you haven't managed to get much content out. How's it going for you now? I mean, you've even got a bit of a delay now. You're running on about 1 meg, aren't you?
I'm running at about 1 meg. It's absolutely horrendous. BT is supposed to be sorting it. I'm looking forward to lots and lots and lots and lots of compensation. But yeah, I got a video out the other day. That's about it. I've not planned anything else just because I don't know when the internet's going to be good. I did want to live stream. I was just like, I cannot live stream with this internet. This is fucking ridiculous. I can't even take telephone bookings. My phone line is that fucked at the moment.
Wow,
but
that
there'll be
is
stuff
really
coming at some point. Yeah,
okay, all right, well,
why the
brilliant.
lots and lots of compensation.
Yeah. All right, look, that's brilliant, mate. Thank you very much indeed for letting us know. So, look, if you've been wondering where he's been, blame British Telecom, basically. Look, next up on the list, we have got DeadKennedyInSpace. How's my favourite floating head in a jar, sir? Are you doing all right?
I'm doing all right. I feel a little jet lagged. I swear it's the whole in space thing. Every time I come back here, it's like I forget how time works.
Yeah, I absolutely. You don't just have time zones to deal with. You've got like galactic times. How do you adjust the clock when you've got to go 3 times around a galaxy, right? Unbelievable. Now, look, I know you've been having a very successful week in Kerbal Space Program this week. I saw you get your first orbit. I helped you with your first landing. You're doing some great stuff there. But perhaps you want to tell people about what other stuff you've been up to this week.
I finished off the terrible Dubé rap thing. I don't want to call it a Dubé rap because it's not his rap. He just took someone else's song, took a bunch of memes. He stole everything and put it on his channel. But I finished off that. I've got a collaboration coming up with a Blue Earth thing on a video called 13 Science Lies You've Been Told. And one other excellent piece of information: Candleman Smith is dead. I don't know if we did it, but his account has been suspended.
Oh, yeah, baby.
That mysterious stranger who no one knew, right? Bizarre. All right, lovely. Thank you very much indeed. Well, look, we got one more on the list. It's my favourite drunken simian, Jutmonkthedrunk Monkey. Oi, oi! How are you doing, mate?
Oi, oi.
Oi, oi. Hello, mate. What have you been up to this week, then? Anything good? I know you've got some good stuff coming out soon.
Well, first of all, I've got to tone it down because I've had complaints from the neighbours.
Jesus
God bless
Christ.
you, man. That's not fair. That's not. How are you supposed to beat you?
I know, man, so I'm going to be fucking chomping at the bit and going mental, but I can't scream me fucking head off.
Oh my God, we'll have to find a way around this. We'll have to like insulate a bathroom so you can just tuck yourself in there or something. But
Anyway,
what have you got out coming in the upcoming week then? You got anything coming?
Well, the next one that's going to be out will be the first part of my shuttle disaster. That's going to be a 2-parter, and I'm going to do both shuttles.
That's really important topic. That's going to be part of your new channel, right?
It is, yes. The other channel there, The Truth Is Not a Hoax. Someone said the only channel with truth in it will probably actually have the truth in it. I found that.
You put truth into the search terms. That's a great way to find flat Earth videos. I think Dead Kennedy taught me that trick. Anyway, right, that's brilliant. Thank you very much indeed, Jutmonk. Now, as ever, we've got the most excellent Kiri Mac keeping an eye on you cheeky chappies in the chat to pass on your comments and questions. So as soon as they occur to you, make sure you throw them at the Shills, not at Kiri, at the Shills, and she will get those to us, the guest, or read them back out for everyone. Hello, Kiri. How are you doing? You got anything to share this week from you or from the audience?
Hi, doing good. Just beavering away here. I'll say hi to a couple of people in the chat. Don't have any questions just yet, but we've got Feck You, Curve Pimp, Baldy Cats, Michelle, Glober Mom, Amy, all the usual suspects, and a couple names I don't recognise. The Snark, I do recognise that name, of course. Tatty Bogle. Hi, guys. Hope you have a good show.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's some great names. Hello, guys. It's really nice to have you here. Thank you very much for coming. Right, that's stuff. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you, Kiri. Now, back in the hot seat, making us all look so slick, is Mr. Robert Leger III, our technical whiz and producer extraordinaire. Hello, Robert. You doing anything today that you'd like to add?
No, man, I'm ready to go. How's everybody doing?
Yeah, grand, mate. All right, brilliant. That sounds like we should just crack on then. Right, so that's the panel that you know and love. There's some really great stuff to be looking out for from all of these guys. Next, though, it's time I introduce you to our special guest. Now, you know him, I'm sure, but if you don't, you are missing out. If you're looking for up-to-date live rocket launches, historical analysis of past missions, or just like this mad general miasma of fun facts and all-round entertainment, generally about space, but a few other things as well, you could do a lot worse than seeking out the worst work of our guest today. He's also going to be collaborating with Jutmonk a little bit on his channel. It's the Casual Spaceman. Hello, mate. How are you doing?
Hey, how you doing? I'm doing very well, thank you, Jim.
Brilliant stuff. Glad to hear it. Now, look, this is the point where I ask you my 3 little mini interview questions. The first one of which may seem a bit redundant, but in case anyone doesn't know, how would you describe yourself in a nutshell for the people listening? Who are you and what do you do?
A pain in the butt. No.
Lovely. Moving on.
No, my channel is, as you know, the Casual Spaceman. I like anything to do with space, really. Doing a lot about Mars at the moment, but Apollo's been a favourite thing of mine for most of my life and stuff like that as well. So, yeah, that's kind of stuff I do.
Well, there you go. Now, how long have you been doing this sort of stuff, and what is it that really triggered you to start?
Well, I've only been been a YouTube creator since April, really. That's when it started. But I've been interested in space and Apollo since I was a little boy, since I was about 5 or 6, when I found a newspaper clipping of the moon landings. In 1969. So off and on, it's been an interest of mine most of my life, really. So up until sort of about, I think it was about January, February, I used to be involved quite heavily in politics, so I decided to give all that up, and I wanted to replace something else. So I thought I'll do this. This is where I am now.
Lovely. Well, it certainly worked out for you. I mean, you're still sweating from your meteoric rise, somewhat, because you basically Dr. Bob gave you a little bit of a shout out there after you sort of helped him out with a video, and my God, we watched those numbers.
I know.
Wow.
If it wasn't for Dr. Bob, I wouldn't be over 1K right now. I can tell you that much.
Well, I can tell you congratulations on that one, and yes,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Bob, what a legend, right? Absolute gentleman.
Yeah.
Now, look, what do you see as being the future of, firstly, your content, not just stuff that's coming out soon, but sort of long term, and how do you see the community going?
Well, I mean, as we all know, I mean, flat Earth is dying really now. We all know that because they're coming out with the same old arguments. It's all been debunked and it's all dying. And I think, as the community as a whole, I think we're going to probably be looking at more sort of general conspiracy theories. And I think that's where the community is going. As far as where my channel's going, I've changed a bit of a change of direction. I'm not sort of more concentrating on kind of like the future. Obviously, we're going back to the moon in 2024, and obviously then hopefully then on to Mars as well. So Mars is the biggest thing for me because most of my life as well, I've always considered Mars to be the next big step, and I always wanted to see that happen before I pop my clog, so to speak. So
Absolutely. Brilliant stuff. Well, look, actually, I've just been, because obviously we've got our secret green room at the back here where we pass some comments around. I thought I'd just mention the fact that both DeadKennedyInSpace and Dick Dawson have mentioned to me that Dr. Bob has given them shout outs as well. I mean, as we're saying, this guy is an absolute gentleman. So, funny enough, if you are watching this and you don't know who Dr. Bob is, Bob the Science Guy, get the hell over there and sub now, you mad bastards. It's one of the best channels out there, channeled by one of the best people presenting, right? I don't think anyone here disagrees with me.
He's certainly taught me a lesson as well, because one of the things that I'm planning on doing is each week I'm going to do what I'm going to call an honourable mention, which is like maybe a new YouTube channel as well that's just started. Give him a bit of a shout. I'll do a quick review on it, give him a bit of a shout out, and hopefully give him a little bit of a push as well. So that's kind of inspired from Dr. Bob for helping me. So I thought, I'll do the same.
What a genius idea! I wonder if there's anyone else who's had a really great idea about shilling out for people like on a regular basis as well. That's a good one. It's almost like one of the best things we do in this community is tell everyone about all the other brilliant people in the community, right? Fantastic. All right, well, look, thank you very much indeed for that, and thank you for joining us as well. I think basically I'm going to go quickly back to Kiri now, just to double check whether or not we've got any comments or questions coming in from the audience.
We have a question from, I'm not sure who it's from. We could ask Casual if he knows more about chemtrails on Mars.
Ooh.
Chemtrails on Mars.
Yeah. Well, they built that little helicopter drone. Maybe that's the plan, right? They keep talking about terraforming the place.
Well, I've never heard of chemtrails on Mars. It's a bit of a new one on me. So.
Hang on.
I haven't heard that
would,
myself.
if somebody's saying that there are chemtrails right now, then I'll be questioning where they're coming from exactly. So.
Exactly.
Now, look, Jutmonk, did I just hear you cutting in, mate? I think I heard you say something very interesting then.
I said I have heard that very recently somewhere else.
Really?
A video, definitely. For sure, I have.
That's extraordinary. Oh, mate, well, that's
someone's done a video on it. Someone in the community's either done a video on it or I've seen a video on it. But yeah, definitely.
Guys, you've got to pick that video out and you've got to do a thing on it on the show. Sometime you've got to. That's going to be wild.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it. I find some right freaky shit.
Yeah, you certainly do. Kiri Mac now. Well, any more, Kiri?
One for you from Errant Massa. I think the Kerbal Space Program 2 was announced. So
yes, it was. There's a trailer out. Go and watch it. It's amazing. I'm literally bouncing in my chair right now. Can you hear me? I sent DeadKennedyInSpace a link. I sent everyone a link. This is the biggest news for me. Oh, I'm so excited.
I don't know about you, Jim, but as soon as I heard that, I was like, take my money right now.
Yeah. Take my wife, take my arms. Just take the lot of it. Yeah. As long as I can still operate the mouse with my nose, I'll be fine. Yeah, definitely. Right. Okay. Is that last of it, Kiri, or shall I? Have you got any more for us?
Nope. Just got No Name asking if spraying vinegar would still work on Mars due to its thinner atmosphere. He's asking for an idiot. I
like that reference. All right. Thank you very much indeed, Kiri. That's brilliant. Well, look. Basically, I think it's probably time that I I'm going to shut up and hand over to the one person here who actually knows what they're doing. Dick Dawson, mate, what do we got next?
Well, we've got ourselves an absolute gem. Now, first up, we have, of course, again, the History Channel with their amazing show, Ancient Aliens. I mean, how is this on the History Channel? What the hell? And the video is shock quartz wormholes in Mexico. So, what the hell's going on when a mainstream TV channel called the History Channel is giving us a show called Ancient Aliens on shock quartz wormholes?
Oh, what happened? What happened to the world, right?
Oh, God, it hurts, man. So, I don't know. What the hell am I supposed to say? Let's just get to it and roll the video. Fuck me.
Portsmouth, England. December 21st, 1872. The HMS Challenger sets out on a 3-year scientific expedition to survey the Earth's oceans and search for new marine life. At the time of its departure, the mainstream scientific viewpoint is that life cannot exist more than 1,800 feet beneath the surface of the ocean. But in March of 1875, after more than 2 years at sea, the crew of the HMS Challenger makes a remarkable discovery. Using a deep-sea dredge, they uncover an abundance of life at depths well beyond 1,800 feet.
Every time they dredged the waters of the ocean, they kept bringing up weirder and weirder creatures at deeper and deeper levels. Quickly became apparent that the oceans are teeming with life.
Throughout time, we tend to sort of impose our own.
DeadKennedyInSpace, was that you, mate?
This is a slow burn, but is it just me? I'm always trying to figure out where they're going with this. Are they going with, because there's weird life lower down, there's a wormhole below the sea or something?
I think that might be where they're going. Jutman.
Close.
Yeah, well, if that is the route they're going down, then it's utterly ridiculous.
You don't say.
Bollocks.
I mean, look, we all know when you look underneath the ocean, right? The stuff that, fishermen have pulled up from the bottom of the oceans is alien looking, right? But that's basically because the bottom of the ocean is about as an alien environment to us land dwellers as Mars. Of course, that's crazy.
We can't even fucking go there.
Absolutely. Now, Dick Dawson, you got a comment, mate?
Yeah, this guy on Ancient Aliens that was speaking there, he's got all of this jewelry that's based around like South America sort of designs and, little stones and whatnot. And he's very much into the, well, what if and maybe and then because. And he literally in one episode of this Ancient Aliens that I saw at a friend's place was going on and on about this little carving in a wall that looked to me like somebody had just carved it because they wanted the stone, like they removed the stone and used it for something. This carving in the side of a wall was a portal to other dimensions of time and space due to cosmic energies, and it's like listening to a 6-year-old tell you a story that they invented because they were watching a cartoon. Holy fuck, man, he is ridiculous. And the reason he's on TV is to talk this bullshit because he writes books that people are dumb enough to buy. The History Channel should really rename itself the You Want to Flog Your Bullshit Book Channel? Right here, baby.
Oh my God, I was biting my hand trying not to keep laughing over the top of you, mate. What an unbelievable thing. Oh, that's amazing. Right, I don't think anyone else looks like they want to cut in right now, so I think let's continue for the mo, shall we?
Our own perspectives on sort of our view of the universe, right? And so our idea of the deep ocean was similar to that too. We thought that probably nothing else could live at great depths because we certainly couldn't survive. Our bodies couldn't take the pressure. Sort of biased, I think, our interpretation of life in the deep ocean.
Jutmonkey.
Yeah, I mean, come on. We can't take the pressure because we live on fucking land. They can take the pressure because it's where they fucking live. I mean, come on. Is she stupid? Just because we can't live there, nothing can.
To be fair on the woman here, I'm not 100% certain yet, but it does seem like this is History Channel playing their normal trick of basically cutting out these slightly dodgy sounding parts of someone's explanation and then editing together to sound damning. She did sound like she was qualifying it a bit, but they're trying to sort of hide that. Now, I see DeadKennedyInSpace has a comment to make. Hello, buddy.
Yeah, this whole what was it? The idea that people would assume because we can't live under the ocean, nothing can. Aliens. The concept of aliens exists. So we can't live in space, but we clearly have thought, well, maybe something else can.
That's a really smart thought. I hadn't thought of it like that. Yeah, you're absolutely right. They're basically saying, no, nothing can live at the bottom of the ocean because we can't. But you're right. Nothing can live in space because we can't either. That's genius. I hadn't thought of that at all. Now, Kiri Mac, I think you've got a comment you want to bring forward. Is that right?
Yeah, Ugly German Truths said, didn't we already talk about that, the History Channel? It was the History Channel in the 80s, the Hitlery Channel up to about 2005, and now it's the Hysteria Channel. I quite like that. You got a good point, right?
Oh, yeah, it's definitely evolved from reasonable to crazy over those years. Logical Troglodyte.
Yeah, it's so far I can't complain about what they're saying specifically because, you know, in the 1800s, early 1800s, we thought something and then we asked a question and we went and looked and then we found out, hey, we know more today than we did yesterday. Guess what? That's called science. But hold on to your butts because they're going to say something stupid.
Yeah. Now, but before we hit play, I happen to know that our special guest has something he wants to add. Casual Spaceman, hello, mate.
Well, just as I was about to sort of say something, I think who was it who was speaking just before?
Logical Troglodyte.
Oh, Logical Troglodyte. Sorry, beg your pardon. Yeah, he pretty much said it. I'm kind of waiting what's going to happen because we all know what it's going to be about. It's ancient aliens, so we know the direction it's going, but not too much to complain about at the moment. I mean, none of it's not true. So, yeah, come on, let's get on with it.
Absolutely. Yeah. I just want to see how they twist what they've shown us because that's the real trick, isn't it, with History Channel? They've got this fantastic way of giving you some almost reasonable sounding facts and then jumping in at the last minute with our favorite phrase. Kind
of leading you to a false sense of security kind of thing, isn't it? Yeah, it's kind of like,
absolutely.
Follow me, we're telling the truth, honestly, follow me.
Yeah, promise. Right, I think I don't have anyone on the list who looks like they want to jump forward, so Robert Leger, would you mind hitting the play button, please?
700 different types of new life. It was a wealth of data so vast that it filled 50 volumes with 30,000 pages of information and was essentially a scientific revolution for its time.
It was fascinating that it only was 5 scientists, 220 plus crew, only 5 scientists, and only 5 scientists in about 3 years, they made oceanography. They made modern science. And the reason for that, why they did it, is because they blindly go where no man goes before. And this is what scientists should do.
Pause. I think what he meant was that a really horrible correction of to boldly go where no one has gone before? He said to blindly go. I mean, really? Could you not just use the proper phrase? I don't understand why that was fucking relevant. He's just throwing in Star Trek references to program you, I think. Maybe it's just me.
Oh, yeah.
Judging by the huge silence, I guess so. Right.
We agree.
The ones who complain about indoctrination, you never see it practiced. Oh, no, absolutely not.
Right. Okay, let's hit play again. Sorry, that was just a little quip. I just couldn't leave it.
Of marine life, the Challenger crew also made the first discovery of what are called cosmic spherules. Nickel-iron micrometeorites from outer space.
Here we go.
According to some scientists, these spherules could be capable of carrying extraterrestrial life.
A lot of those rocks would have carried a microbial cargo. Cocooned inside of rocks, a microbe could be quite happy in the harsh conditions of space.
Oh, DeadKennedyInSpace. Hello, mate. What did you say there?
So there it is. So because they found bits of space rock in the ocean, which, by the way, is most of the planet, so statistically likely the life that's in there came from space and not just the conditions of the ocean.
Yeah, here we go. This is it. This is what they're priming us all for. Jutmonk.
Could I just say that, isn't the Earth in space? I mean, isn't it space rock itself, for fuck's sake?
True.
That's a good point. Although I would desperately hope that our planet wouldn't land heavily on another one. That might ruin your day a little bit.
No, but it's not come from another place.
Well, this
it's
is
also
it.
come from space. It's fucking space rock, you dumbass.
This is the problem, though, because we have got a certain scientific standard that says, you know, the building blocks from life definitely came from space, because ultimately everything sort of kind of did one way or the other, right? So they're sort of playing around on the vagary of this idea, which is that the stuff that started life obviously came from outer space, but they're sort of confusing it with panspermia, which I think most of you guys know is the idea that life sort of came. I mean, that as an answer for where life came on Earth is fine, but it only pushes the problem back a level anyway, because we still need to know how it came from space. But they're doing a lot of conflation here. I just want to see exactly the point where they say, yeah, this is it, aliens, right? Now, I see DeadKennedyInSpace has a comment that he wants to add. What about you, mate? What did you want to say?
Yeah, Feku just pointed out in the chat. A lot of he's quoting the video. A lot of those rocks would have carried microbiological life. False, and yeah, I'm pretty sure he's right on that, because could anything really survive a probably centuries long journey through space?
Well, there is a small chance, isn't there? Because didn't they find they've got there's some kind of moss or lichen that's still growing on the outside of the ISS or something?
Yes, I think there is. There has been things that have been found to even lay dormant as well. I think
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking my first thought was tardigrades, right? Because they've been seen to survive the vacuum. They've survived like crazy pressures and crazy temperatures. But I don't know. I don't think it's likely that the rocks would have contained microbiological life. If anything, it's more likely that they might have contained
building
some of the pieces for it. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, organic compounds, the kind of things that under the right circumstances can come together and get things going. And if you've got that contained in a rock that's coming from the sky into the ocean, well, that's the place you want it to be if you want things to mix and match, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
definitely.
I mean, it seemed to work on planet Earth, didn't it?
Indeed. Now, Casual Spaceman, you wanted to cut in there, mate. Hello.
Yeah, I think somebody else has read my mind. Actually, Dead Kennedy just said exactly what I was going to say, but something actually
Pipe up sooner, pal.
Not quick enough. No, but I just get this feeling. Actually, it's about to get a whole lot worse and a whole lot more bizarre. Knowing the History Channel and Ancient Aliens, it's going to get weirder. I
think you might be right. Right. Well, in that case, let's turn to our producer extraordinaire and get him in hit play.
It would be shielded from radiation by the depth of rock. It could probably stay in a dormant phase out in space for certainly thousands, if not millions of years.
When scientists explored these nickel-iron spherules in depth, they discovered that they contained iron that was extraterrestrial in origin. Is it possible that this extraterrestrial substances were brought here by alien beings and deposited in the oceans of Earth along with...
Hold on, stop.
Hello, Spaceman.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, I knew it. I mean, first of all, if they said it's from a material that must have come from aliens, how did they know this? How do they know it's aliens that have made this? I knew it was going to get worse. I mean, I really would like to know how they... Because it's round, exactly.
Well,
I just don't know what else to say. Oh, God.
Sorry, DeadKennedyInSpace. You carry on, mate. Do apologise.
Sorry, all they said was that it was iron that was extraterrestrial, right? So wouldn't that be most meteors, probably?
Yeah. What percentage of the Earth is now extraterrestrial if iron makes it a foreign element, right?
That weird, unattainable alien element, iron.
Yeah. But it's the fact that they're saying that ancient aliens have made this iron. I mean, that's just what.
Absolutely. I've got a logical troglodyte. Oh, sorry, mate. Go on.
No, go on. That's okay. It's good.
Sorry, so I've got a logical troglodyte, bless him, who's been desperate to get in for a couple of moments there, and I really want to give him a chance to. Hello, mate.
Well, Kevin kind of beat me to it a little bit, but he did say we cut open the iron spheroids, and guess what? We found iron. You didn't find any microbes, did ya? Yeah, otherwise you would have told me that.
No shit. I think that would have been on the news. Jutmonkthedrunk Monkey, you want to cut in as well, mate? Hello.
Yeah, I mean, amongst you all, we're good at this tonight. You pretty much said it. But yeah, iron. I mean, I just thought, well, they've already found iron elsewhere.
Yeah, it's yeah, I think it's been discovered.
You know, it's we know it's not the planet Earth is not the only fucking planet in the universe to contain iron. We know that.
Yeah, you know,
exactly. Sake,
we know how to. Yeah, you know, cosmology is a thing.
I mean,
Radical posted a really good comment here at the Shills. Nipple iron spheroids, nipple, right? Because he caught it. That's what Buddy said, man. Nipple iron spheroids. Like, what the hell?
I want to shout my fucking head off, but I can't.
Yeah, mate, I'm so bad for you. What we could do is we'll have to find you like a great big motorbike helmet, so you can sort of put that on your head and put the phone inside and scream to your heart's content. We will find a solution. Don't you panic.
Well,
Casual Spaceman, you wanted to add something, didn't you, mate?
Yeah, I think Jut said it anyway, but I mean, it's like, did they not think it's possible that other planets and asteroids and things like might actually contain iron? You know, I mean,
what the hell?
And the fact that they're nice and round and smooth. I mean, you might think that perhaps it's been weathered somehow. It's in the ocean after all, perhaps. You know, It's, oh, come on. I mean, just because it's typical conspiracy theories because they don't understand something or where something come from. They automatically assume that it must be ancient aliens or it must be a conspiracy. The same old story. Oh, come on.
Yeah,
absolutely. Now, look, audience. I want to remind the audience at this point, if you've got your comments or questions, keep them coming in. I know that we've had a few already, but I just want to throw that little reminder out there so that people know. Now, we have a flurf in the chat. Hello, sir. DeadKennedyInSpace just pointed that one out for me. 2, by the look of it. Oh, my God. Hello, gentlemen. Nice to see you. Hope we can convince you of the truth. Right, now, does anyone else want to cut in quickly?
There was one other comment here.
Sure.
Let me just scroll back and find it because things are moving fast on this side even. It's from Forever Learning. Micrometeorites have molten surfaces, so I wonder how extraterrestrials would survive atmospheric entry. That's a really good one. I like that very much.
That is. That's an excellent point. No, brilliant stuff. All right, well, it doesn't look like I've got anyone who's dying to jump in at the moment, so that being the case, Robert Legere, shall we continue?
Is it possible that the Challenger discovered the conveyance of extraterrestrial life on the sea floor?
I can answer that.
Might the deepest parts of the ocean be as alien to us as the farthest reaches of outer space?
We seem so fixated on finding life on other planets. Yet there's so much potential here on Earth. If there's anything that we've learned from history, it's that anything is possible. We can't discount the possibility that somewhere in the vast unexplored ocean depths lies some highly intelligent and highly dangerous life form we haven't seen yet.
Wait.
Deep sea aliens,
Pause. No, all right. Now, I heard Casual Spaceman jump in there, so I'm going to let you go first.
You shouted first, but that's very kind of you. Thank you very much. No, it's come on. I mean, if it was intelligent life, does anybody not think that we might have either seen them or there might have been some sort of contact?
Giveaway.
Some sort of giveaway. You might have actually seen them, but of course, we've seen spaceships and all the rest of it. Or people think they've seen spaceships, But
Absolutely.
I mean, come on, please. I mean, also, they might find something that we've never actually seen before. That's quite possible in the depths of the oceans. Most of the depths of the oceans we haven't explored yet. But I mean, they claim that's an alien and stuff like that. Well, it's alien to us. But
Absolutely.
I mean, oh God.
Okay, now I've got a whole mess of you trying to jump in with some comments. So first one I'm going to go to is Kiri Mac, who's probably got something from the audience for us.
Yeah, Touchpad is saying, is Iron Man another word for alien?
Quality, beautiful.
Rolf Pilarin, apologies if I didn't say that right, has said, stop being so logical. They can't explain it. They're for aliens. I mean, You know
what? The man has a point.
What? I think that sums it up in a nutshell, right?
Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. Right now, DeadKennedyInSpace, you had something you wanted to say. Hello, mate. How are you doing?
Yeah, he did the thing there. He did, I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens. The phrase he used was, we can't discount the possibility. And I mean, we can't discount the possibility that it was an alien named Xenu who brought alien souls down, and that's why we have emotions.
That is a lovely little Scientology reference there, buddy. Brilliant.
We can't discount that possibility, but there's no reason to think it's the most likely one either.
Mm-hmm. Although there is one thing about the Xenu thing, because it's claimed to be 75 billion years ago, which is a time that most scientists agree never happened. Now, the Sarcastic Barman, hello, buddy. What did you have to add?
Hello. I was just going to say that there's no such thing as UFOs. They're all just flying goldfish bowls. Because obviously the fish are all fucking aliens.
Someone should tell NASA. Oh, brilliant. Logical Troglodyte, you had something as well. Hello, mate.
Just a quick piece of, a couple of quick pieces of logic. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they're talking about finding things in and around the Gulf of Mexico, yeah? Well, we know there was a really big-ass asteroid that landed there 65 million years ago, and you're surprised that we're finding pieces of it?
Of course.
Absolutely. And they're making this huge leap, and I can't call it logic because it's not, but this huge leap that says aliens must have done this, so otherwise we wouldn't have the life on the planet. And it's like, you're basically, if you follow that thought through, you're actually saying that nature can't take its course and work with what it has, so aliens have to come and help life along. But what helped the aliens' life along to get them to where they can come here and do the same thing? What? We're getting into a huge circle here.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's a circle, all right.
Oh, sorry, Dick. Do apologize, mate. Now, I've got Jutmonkthedrunk Monkey on the line. He just gave me a little buzz. Hello, buddy.
Yeah, I just wanted to say a quick hello to the only globe-denying plum that I actually know in real life. Is it 'cause I is flat? Is in the house.
Wow, we're honoured to have him here. Hello,
Yes.
Is it 'cause I is flat? And no, it's not. It's a globe.
It's not flat, you plum, and I'll demonstrate that when we debate.
Lovely. Oh yeah, that's right. Let's see. Now I forgot about that. But you have actually, you know a genuine flat earther in real life, which is all pretty.
Yes.
Cool.
Is it because I is flat? I've known for many, many years.
Wow, and you're going to be undertaking a bit of a debate with that chap. Am I right?
We certainly are. He asked me if I had any globe proof.
Well, only all the space photos, geodesy, scientific evidence from the last 2,600 years. But it'll be a good debate anyway. Dick Dawson, it looks like you wanted to add something, mate.
Yeah, what I was thinking is we could really do a lot for the anti-conspiracy theory community in one go if we could just get Richard Dreyfuss to do a little interview with us that says, look, Close Encounters of the Third Kind wasn't a fucking documentary, you absolute morons. For fuck's sakes, it's just Hollywood.
Well said, that man. Now, DeadKennedyInSpace. Hello, sir. Now, there's a couple of things. Is it a comment from you or a comment from the audience you had?
A couple things, yeah. I was going to add on to what Jutmonk was saying about the friend of his who's in the chat here. He asked a little while ago how Nixon called the moon. Through NASA, it's called a conference call. They've existed basically since phones have existed. And the comment from the chat, I remember the whole Xenu story, space DC-8s, glycol injections, fake tax audits and all. Yeah. Look into it, guys. Scientology is a little nuts.
Have you guys ever heard? What was he called again? I've forgotten his name. I nearly called him Ron Howard by mistake. That's someone fucking different. What's his name again? L. Ron Hubbard, isn't it?
L. Ron Hubbard, yeah.
Yeah. So have you ever heard the audio tape of him describing Scientology and this history in person? The man's clearly taken a couple of tabs of acid. I'm not even joking, by the way. He has actually taken a couple of tabs of acid, and it's basically relating this story like off the top of his head. He did it it is breathtaking. He literally does say, which looked like DC-8s for some reason. Well, I'm fucking convinced. Fair play. Casual Spaceman, looks like you wanted to add something.
Yeah, it's just going back to what DeadKennedyInSpace said about the Nixon phoning the moon. I've heard that thing so many times. I still can't fucking believe that people honestly think that somehow he dialed 0800 666 moon or something. You know, I mean, use a bit of fucking common sense and work it out that they could communicate the moon from NASA, then they can't possibly patch him through, perhaps. You know, I mean, come on, please, a bit of common sense. I mean, even
they send the radio radio.
I was talking to my daughter about this, and even she's 12 years old, and she could work that out. I mean, come on, please, grown-ass man asking a question like that. Give it a rest.
right. Absolutely. All right, good point, well made. Jutmonk, did I hear you wanted to cut in there, mate, or was that just a laugh? I missed it.
I just laughed.
Yeah, okay.
You know, when he said grown man asking a question like that, it's like, yeah, I mean, come on, mate. You know, it's not exactly fucking cutting edge technology, is it?
Absolutely. Oh my God. Basically, you know, pretty much all they would have to do is have the radio connection to the moon and hold the fucking phone up to the mic if that's all it.
They had to.
It's not complicated, and these are actual rocket scientists, so I'm pretty sure they worked out a way to do it.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't cutting edge science then.
Yeah, they had the phone for about 70 years at that point, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. My God. Right, okay, look, it looks to me like it's about time to continue on the video, unless anyone wants to jump in last minute. Lovely stuff, let's go.
75% of our planet is ocean. I think Jacques Cousteau said it should be planet of ocean, not planet of Earth. And we only know about 10% what actually lives in the ocean.
Wow, this is wrong. That's all wrong.
Today, as we look deeper into our own solar system and beyond, we realize the importance of H2O, and that water isn't only a life force for us, but possibly other organisms within the galaxy.
Oh God, don't call it a life
knowing
force.
that our oceans are as deep as they are, it's very possible that there's a whole other world of exploration waiting for us. We might even discover that there are other races living on the...
Jutmonkthedrunk Monkey.
Oh God.
Well, they're saying there's a whole, like, you know, another world that we haven't discovered, or, you know, there's so much we haven't discovered under the oceans, for Christ's sake. You know, they're just sort of stating the obvious and building it up to set it up to make it sound like it's something else when it isn't. It's just the planet we haven't fucking, you know, we don't know about it yet. You know,
absolutely.
There's such a small percentage of the actual ocean that we've.
Yeah. Although it's worth pointing out at this point, right, that the numbers that guy gave out were very wrong. Firstly, it's not a planet of 75% water. It's the surface. This is about 70%. There's more atmosphere and space for animals to live in above the water than below. But we've actually only discovered about 3% of the stuff down there, not 10%. So I don't know where the hell he's getting these numbers from.
I actually thought it was 2%, but I didn't say that because I wasn't 100% sure. And you saying 3%, well, there you go.
There you go. Absolutely. Now, Sarcastic Barman, hello, mate. How are you doing?
Hello. Yeah, he's going on about there's all this other life down there. Yeah, there might be, but there's only so deep this life could actually be, because after that, no matter how adapted to pressure it is, it couldn't be 10, 12, 13 odd miles. I know the oceans don't go that deep, but you know what I mean? It can only be life to a certain fucking depth, and then it's just going to be microorganisms and stuff like that. There's not going to be a race of fucking mermen living under there going, oh, should we go up to the Caribbean today? It might be warm. No.
Yeah. I mean, if there's anything that was down there that deep, the chances of them getting up to our level is about as likely as us getting down there. And the one thing we've noticed about the only intelligent life that we actually know about is fire, technology, electricity, things that are quite difficult to achieve 7 miles underneath the fucking ocean. I don't really know how the opportunity to evolve.
SpongeBob can have fires underwater.
Do you know what? I'm completely wrong. I stand corrected. Thanks, Barman. There's the science, ladies and gentlemen. Kiri Mac, you've got some comments for us.
Yep, it would help if I unmuted myself. So Touchpad says, what they're saying sounds to me about as sane as me saying, I haven't checked my glucose levels, so since I don't know where they are, I'm sure there's aliens there.
Nice, excellent point. Anything else you want to add, or is it just the one at the moment?
Nah, we've got so many. I'll put in a couple more and then we'll get on with it. End the Conspiracy says, the Anunnaki created Nephilim, who created humans, therefore we have proof of aliens on Earth. Mike Bertelson says, the other civilization lives in the center of Earth. Duh.
Yeah, obviously. Wait, no, how can it be in the center? Don't we live inside of a bowl?
Oh, is it flat? Is it a bowl? Is it hollow? Is it concave? I can't keep up. I do not.
I hope it's got mini wheats in it. I like mini wheats, so I'm rooting for a bowl full of mini wheats.
Yes, mate. And little marshmallow pieces.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You'd be able to look up at Australia.
Yeah. Right, a good telescope. You could zoom it back in. Now, look, I'm afraid to say I had a little name on my buzzer list here that seemed to disappear. So I don't know if someone had a comment and lost it or disappeared, but whoever it is, now is the time to speak or forever hold your peace.
I do have one.
Sure.
There was a response to is it cause I is flat? Is that how you say it?
Yes.
I think so.
He was calling Jutmonk a drunk in the chat, and I said he may be a drunk, but he's still a hell of a lot smarter than you. And somebody else responded with, the worm in a tequila bottle would still be able to destroy Is It Cause I Is Flat in a debate.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's genius. Lovely stuff. Well, look, I'm going to ask Robert Leger to hit play on the video unless there's any objections. Lovely stuff. Let's go.
But at the deep parts of our oceans.
Is it possible that extraterrestrials inhabit our waters all over the world? Perhaps when we finally make contact with alien beings, it will not be in the furthest reaches of space, but right here on Earth, lurking in the deep.
Lurking?
Going under a trap door under the ocean that I just saw. Seriously.
Did you? Lurking?
Does that make them alien?
Jesus Christ!
With a Scud missile. That is unfucking believable. Sorry. DeadKennedyInSpace, bring some sanity to the table, I beg you.
So I remember this movie. This was Sphere, right?
Yeah, that's it. You nailed it.
Yeah. That's where it come from. I knew I recognised it somewhere.
Oh my God, you're absolutely right. That's amazing. How did I miss that?
Genius.
It was the way he phrased it in that last bit, where our first contact with extraterrestrial life might occur under the ocean, and I was like, oh yeah, that was Sphere.
Yeah. That's the tagline, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's genius. Look at that. This is why we have him on the show, ladies and gents. Right. Now I don't see any more buzzers. Oh no, I do. I see a logical troglodyte wants to say something. Hello, buddy.
Lurking, nice Smeagol.
Oh, brilliant.
I mean, it's like, come on. These morons and conspiracy theorists, they want to say that photographs from space are all CGI and fake, but they're going to just eat this crap up. Is like, really? Come on, guys. Pull your head out your ears. It'll smell a lot better and things will look a lot brighter.
Yeah, excellent point, well made. Nice. Now, Sarcastic Barman, hello, mate. What did you want to say?
Hello. So, in this weird world of the History Channel, micrometeorites made of nickel iron basically brought life to the oceans that's then sat there for thousands upon millions and maybe even a billion years, that's then evolved into alien life form in the sea. Is it then alien life form? Is it not just fucking fish? Are they aliens? Are they just our normal fucking fish? It's the whole panspermia, as you said. It's just like, well, no, if they've evolved here and become from, it doesn't matter where they came from. If they've evolved here and spent millions of years here, does that not make them fucking Earthish? For fuck's sake.
Yeah,
they're
right?
not
How's
fucking
it
aliens.
From Earth? Unbelievable. Now, look, Casual Spaceman, our illustrious guest. There's only so many times I can say illustrious, but illustrious you are. What did you have to add, mate?
Oh, God, he's just read my mind. He just said exactly what I was just going to say, more or less, but he said it far better than I could have ever done in his sarcastic way. So, no, absolutely spot on, Sarcastic Barman.
Oh, yeah, amazing stuff. Well, we can always trust Barman and come up with something brilliant to add to the table.
But I will say this. I mean, was that the end of the video? I mean, was that it?
Thankfully, yes.
I mean, it goes to show. I mean, it's very, very short because actually, with most conspiracy arguments, they brought absolutely nothing. Apart from sort of like saying, well, there might be stuff down there. We don't know what it is, but it might be. It could be stuff down there, but we could be aliens, but we might not be aliens, but it could be.
Well, I mean, they've done their usual trick of not having the balls to at least say, we think it's aliens. What they do is they just heavily imply it with some bad facts and some vagueness. It's just lazy.
We're talking about, excusing the pun about balls, those iron balls or whatever you call them, or nipples as they call them as well. Saying that it must be alien iron. That's pretty much all they had. Again, it's just all speculation. And why does the History Channel put this bollocks on? Seriously? Come on.
It's actually it's embarrassing to everybody with an education that a channel that used to really give us proper history content is now just running wild with this fucking garbage. It's terrible.
I mean, history, correct me if I'm wrong, but history is supposed to be about facts. But all they seem to do now, especially with this Ancient Aliens series thing, they just speculate, and there's nothing else. They can bring absolutely nothing to it at all. If you're gonna really, say something that's outlandish and spectacular, is bring us something really spectacular and bring us some proof of something that you claim.
Yeah.
But they don't, because it doesn't exist.
No, it always hangs on, but what if, and if so, and could it be? And as soon as you hear that, you just, oh God, here comes absolutely nothing. You might as well hear a fat man with a upset stomach fart in the wind, because that's what you get. Fuck.
I don't need to fart.
Logical Troglodyte, now I see you raring at the bit. What did you want to say?
Yeah, and where was the shocked quartz? Where was the portals? I feel like they promised me a reach around, didn't even tickle my bum. Come on.
Hey, you're right. Hey, what the hell happened there?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm thinking that the flurf who put this together just, couldn't keep it straight. Let's see. You snort this, you edit this, you smoke this, you title this, you publish it. Oh, God, I gotta go to bed, man. That's probably what happened.
Dick, you said the flurf who put this together. Flurfs don't believe in aliens.
No, okay, that's true. But okay, I use flurf to mean general science denying moron, but you know what I mean, Good catch, though. Yeah, it's good catch.
Dead now, anyway, so everyone else is a flurf. All the anti-vaxxers, the mud flooders, people who believe in homeopathy or drinking your own piss, all of that nonsense, they're all flurfs, really. That's the point, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's all wind from a rectal cavity. It doesn't matter, right? We might as well use the same word.
Now, look, I've got a logical troglodyte on my list here. Did you have anything you wanted to add, or have I just forgotten to click you off my list?
You just didn't play with my buzzer, that's all. But that's okay. The History Channel already let me hang in, so you may as well too.
Oh, I'm so sorry, buddy. Hey, at least I came back to double check. They would never do that. At least I can consider it. Right, well, look, we've watched the end of this first video, so I'm going to do one more quick round the table, find out if we've got any final thoughts before we move on. But the first thing I'm going to do is go straight back to Kiri Mac, see if we've got any comments from the audience.
We do. We have a couple comments and a couple questions. Do you think we've got time for some of those?
Oh, yeah, of course.
I think so.
Cool. Well, first of all, is it because I is flat wants to know why we haven't been back to the moon in 50 years?
Oh, God.
There's nothing to be gained from going there, except now, in 2024, we finally worked out a good reason to do it. So we are going back.
I can answer in one word. Budget. Next.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Moving on.
2024.
Yeah.
I feel like I should be a voice for the flurfs. So David Blackson simply just said, God. Okay.
Okay, which one? Can you demonstrate him?
I respond with, yes, praise Odin.
Yeah, there you go. Right?
There you go. Absolutely.
Well, Odin, if you're gonna praise a god, let's pick one who likes to sit back and get drunk and whatnot. I don't want the boring stuff. I want somebody that knows how to smash a glass on the ground and say, "Bring me another." That sounds good.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah.
I've started a new religion. It's called I praise Zorg, and he's the god of aircraft carriers. I just thought I'd make one up just there. So
Nice. Brilliant.
Awesome.
Pray to him and you'll never fall off a ship. Jimbojo Monkey, looks to me like you want to add something.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, so who is the other dumbass globe-denying buttfuck?
I don't know. Anyone know him?
It was the turn I had this afternoon.
Oh, really?
What's his name?
Doesn't sound like
I
anyone
don't know.
knows.
I've not got chat. No one knows.
David Blackson are you talking about the flurf in the chat?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Mr. Blackson, nice to see you. Glad you're here.
Lovely to meet you. Shame you're so terribly, terribly wrong. Incidentally, you can find out all this stuff. Go read a book. Sorry, anyone else want to add anything?
Kevin had a question for me there. Kevin.
Oh yeah, you were talking about if you're gonna go with a god, go with one who likes to get drunk and everything. Have you ever seen that meme? Odin promised the end of all ice giants. Jesus promised the end of all wicked people. I don't see many ice giants around.
Nailed it. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, exactly. See, go Odin. Yeah. I'm Team Odin.
Right,
I'm Team Odin.
Right, now let's see. Logical Troglodyte, what do you have to say after all of that nonsense?
Did we get another video?
Brilliant stuff. What about you, Dick Dawson?
Well, coming from the, Not So History channel, I'm not surprised we're seeing this kind of thing. Oh, and by the way, let's all get ready to file yet another copyright claim counter because, we're going to get it from these fuckers, right? But we win, so it doesn't matter. Who cares? We move on, right? But when it's got to the point where mainstream TV has become literally a joke to people like us on YouTube. What the hell are people who just let TV educate their children? Well, this is really going down a bad road. They should be forced when they went to their, the version of the FCC or whatever it is they're under, and they said, oh, well, we're going to be a specialty channel dealing in history. They should not be able to put ancient aliens on the show at all.
Fucking right. Well said.
Come on, this is bullshit.
Casual Spaceman, you look like you wanted to cut in there, mate.
Yeah, I think it's about time, actually, that Jim Bells wrote a very strongly worded letter to the History Channel, perhaps. What do you think?
That's probably not a terrible idea. I'll go and put it to him this afternoon.
Is he there for a quick hello, Globetards?
Sadly, no, I had to leave him in England because I'm in Spain at the moment, so he won't be coming to the microphone today. I know, what a terrible shame.
Steward.
No, I'm sure he's around here somewhere. Jim Bells, come on, buddy. Come on. Say hello. Hello, Globetards. Jolly nice to see you. How are you all doing?
Oh, yeah, Mr. Jim Bells.
Channel is an embarrassment to humanity, don't you think? I rather think that the word history is misapplied.
Absolutely.
Well, you seem to be doing an excellent job, especially the simian in here. Very good show. You show these other little monkeys who's boss. Well done. Now,
thank you very much, sir.
Oh, he's off. You didn't piss him off, did you? He doesn't look pleased. All right, anyway. Right, Casual Spaceman, do you have something you wanted to add there, mate?
No, that was it.
All right, lovely stuff.
I'm wondering if we shouldn't address the whole FE core, the flat Earth core, and the bullshit they pulled this week over the copyright strikes. Basically, they've gone orphan red, and
they went up and flagged a bunch of Sly's videos, didn't they? Sly's Parkane?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, has anyone on the panel got any comments? Oh, sorry, Dick, carry on, mate.
No, I was going to say exactly what you just did, so I'll leave you to it, my son. Let it happen.
Fair enough. Well, look, I'm going to go around the table and get some opinions on a couple of people on this. And I'd very much like comments and questions from the audience because this is a pretty big deal at the moment right now. Obviously, we stand behind Slides Sparkane and against FE Core. Jutmonk, was that you, mate?
I spotted a comment by The Snark that says, Mr. Jim Bells is a legend already.
Oh, well, that's very nice. I'll tell him you said so. He'll be very, very pleased. Thank you for that, mate. I see Casual Spaceman again on my list. Hello, buddy.
Yeah, it's just about this FE core business. And basically, what they're actually complaining about was, well, at least one of the complaints was a privacy violation. But the thing was, he mentioned a couple of people that happened to be members of the FE core by name, right? But the thing is, if you go to FE core's website, they're actually listed on the website.
Yeah. There you go.
It's public domain. You don't need to log on. You don't have to go through any special security measures and all the rest of it.
It's all right there.
Every single one of them are listed by their actual real names. They're all there. And they're complaining that they violated their privacy because he named a couple of them.
Even though they publicly displayed all of this stuff for everyone to see, and all he did was retranslate
on their website. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, good luck to them trying to pull that one. We'll see them in court, I think. Logical Troglodyte. Hello, buddy. What did you want to add?
You know, it shouldn't amaze me, but it does. Flat earthers, they constantly want to scream censorship when they lose their free advertisement through YouTube. You know, they want to scream that we're bullying them when we tell them, proved, with real facts and figures and real science that they don't know what they're talking about. But yet they will use this back alley tactic to try to cut somebody in the back, just because they can't stand up to Slice Arcane's debunking of them. And, so it's just ridiculous. He talked about one channel, FE Core, right? Well, there's 7 members. So instead of having one complaint, they all individually went and made 7 complaints and tried to make it look like actually worse than what it was. And they don't have a legal leg to stand on because it's entirely fair use and it's reprehensible behavior at best, and I don't even want to say what it's at worst, because I try to run a family channel myself. But anyway, it's just insane. If you have something to offer in a debate, fucking bring it, god darn it. Don't try to slit somebody's throat and smile at them while you're doing it, because that's just wrong. And you guys want to say it's all about free speech and you're just picking on us because we believe differently. And it's not that we believe, it's we can show. If you can show, fine. But if you can't, shut up and sit down.
Fucking A.
You got it, man. You
I've got to cut in here very quickly. I'm really sorry, mate. It's just that, look, to our mods in the chat, basically, please don't time anyone out. Don't kick them out. Don't censor them unless they literally are racist or massively homophobic. So, look, I know it's annoying when someone calls you a dickhead, but please don't be going and kicking them out because we are a free speech platform. Everyone's welcome to hear. Everyone's welcome to their own opinion. I appreciate why it's happening, but let's not be too overzealous, people. Sorry, that's just my little 2 cents worth. Does anyone else want to cut in?
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Remember, myself or Jut. Sorry, Jut, you have it right after me. But myself or Jut, Logical, AB Science, DeadKennedyInSpace, we've all gone pretty hard on them on the show. So we have to let it come back. That's just, that's how it is, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, Jut, go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, pretty much the same, Christ, I fucking shout out the insults, so, we can't time people out for giving as good as I give, But, and if they cross certain lines, we all know what those lines are, racism, anti-Semitism,
homophobia, that sort of stuff.
Homophobia,
discrimination. Sort of stuff that would be criminalised in law somehow or would be considered actual legal discrimination. If someone called you a bit of a dickhead, now I forget what it was. There was a comment basically. It was quite a good one, to be fair. What it said was, why is it the Formula One drivers who race at 300 miles an hour look so fit and healthy, whereas astronauts all look like fat bastards? And firstly, they don't. They're ridiculously healthy. But the main reason is because most astronauts are in their 40s and most racing drivers are 1, very young, and 2, have to be very skinny, small and light because it's an advantage.
They have to be fit as fuck as well because the G-forces that they undertake going through corners, you'll find most of them have really strong neck muscles, shoulder muscles, back. So they are athletes. They're not
you can sweat 4 litres in a race of water and you end up being knackered. If you're not a fit, healthy young man, I mean, you don't see many racing drivers pushing 40, but you see a lot of astronauts.
And that's over a 2-hour period, not get 7 minutes into orbit and then you're cool, right?
And then you've got to work out, otherwise you'll waste away.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, DeadKennedyInSpace, you wanted to add something, didn't you, Maddie?
Yeah, just a kind of quick tack on to all of this. Most of them are military. They're in very good shape. Like, what is this idea that they're unfit because the suits make them look fat? Are you that stupid?
Fucking crazy.
But the other thing, to go back to like the moderation and the timing out and everything, yeah, I've taken a really hard stance on censorship lately. And I'm sorry to kind of get like topical on something I maybe shouldn't on this channel, but I do not like cancel culture. I do not like this censorship world that we're starting to live in. It's very 1984 to me, and I do not like it. The fact that we just now could have a logical and kind of funny discussion about the comment that got somebody timed out, that's not good. I've had this issue a number of times on my channel. I have a regular fan who keeps coming back, who we disagree a lot on censorship and how flat earthers should be dealt with. And here's the thing. The other extreme is him, and it's what will happen if you allow censorship. He thinks Flurfs should be lined up and shot. I think that's fucked up.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That's insanity. That's like, holy God.
Breathtaking, absolutely. Now, look, Logical Troglodyte, I see you wanted to add something there.
Yeah, for any of the flirps in the chat, if you want to pick on somebody, go ahead and pick on me. I've been insulted by professional insulters. You all don't have anything. Seriously, just dickhead. That's all you got. Come on.
Yeah.
And here's why I can take it. I don't give two shits what you have to say to me. Why? Because you're a flurf. You're automatically wrong. You don't have the intelligence to stand up to me or anybody on this freaking panel. And you don't sign my paycheck, and I don't have to kiss you in the morning when I wake up. So blank me.
Beautiful. Kiri Mac, sounds to me like we've got some comments and questions coming in. What have you got for us?
Sure. Common comment says, "Who's the Flintstones guys? He's smart." I think that's for logical.
That's a good one.
Exactly what he was just talking about.
Yay. Baldy Cats points out that also astronauts deal with much higher acceleration.
I've got to call you out on that. No. I've got to call you out on that. That's not true. I've checked this in the past. Your average astronaut might peak on the re-entry at about 3 or 4 G, but they do design it not to be killer. Accelerating up, they only hit about 2 and a bit G. Formula One drivers can peak at 7 or 8.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Speaking, a Formula One driver experiences more for shorter periods.
Can I just chime in and support what Jim has actually just said? The people that actually hit the highest Gs are actually pilots of the A10.
Warthog.
They pull something about 9 or 10 G. So yeah.
Oh, wow.
Baldy Cats has just said, "I meant Formula One drivers. I'm pissed."
What a bummer. What a bummer.
There you go.
I was queuing up for a Baldy Cats versus Jim Bell's video or something. I was like, fight.
It's war. It's cat war.
I do have to say, though, when it comes to high Gs, you have to give it back to the Formula One drivers right away, because those who stop by hitting a solid object hit some real Gs.
Yeah, absolutely. My God, some of those lads. Absolutely.
The fact is, though, astronauts have the potential to actually reach some very high Gs, because if anything goes really, really wrong with re-entry or actually during the liftoff phase or the first stage, and if they have to abort, they could reach some very, very, very high Gs. So yeah, you could be talking 10, 11, 12 G quite easily, which is getting into the territory of blacking out. So
and it's worth pointing out the NASA boys who went to the moon, they were pushing much higher Gs, because back then they didn't have the same sort of safety standards or rules. They were pulling 6 or 7 on re-entry, and they could hit 11 on the way down. So back then, they really put those boys through some stresses, didn't they? Now, I think I saw Jutmonkthedrunk Monkey trying to comment, but I hear silence. Are you there, buddy? Well, I think we'll come back to him in a little bit. We'll see. It might be that he's just had a temporary connection issue.
Yeah, I was just saying, going back to... I know we moved on a bit, but going back to... hang on.
Hello. He's having connection issues. Listen, Jutmonk, if you do get this message, do us a favour, disconnect and come straight back on, because we're kind of losing you. You're delayed quite a long time. So in the meantime, while we wait for our simian friend to come back, I'm going to double check. Does anyone else have any comments they want to throw in just for the meantime?
Quick one.
Well, back to FE Core. Dead Kennedy, did you want to get in on that?
Oh, that was it. Just those two words. Fuck FE Core.
Yeah. I mean, it should be a meme right now. Or should be a hashtag right now. Hashtag fuck FE Core, right? Absolutely.
Oh,
run wild with it too.
And now,
you know,
can you put profanity in a hashtag? Will that trend?
Yeah,
yeah. Let's find out.
Let's give it a try.
Let's give it a try.
Let's try a hashtag fuck FE Core. Let's try.
Absolutely. Now, Kiri Mac, you had something you wanted to jump in, and then I'm going to go to Casual Spaceman just after.
Well, I just kind of wanted to add in that Touchpad reminded us that a Formula One driver loses up to 4 kilograms of body weight in a race, but I should have got that in earlier. Apologies.
I mentioned something about that earlier, actually, because I've done a bit of racing driving myself, and in a good 2-hour race, you can lose about 5 to 10 litres of water, actually. It can get very excessive indeed. You get extremely dehydrated doing a long race. Now, Casual Spaceman, looks to me like you had something you wanted to add there.
Yeah, just about the FA Core and Sly thing. FE Core, if you're actually listening, just keep on doing these copyright strikes and these community strikes, false ones I might add. Just keep on doing them and let's see where that gets you. Because if you keep doing them, you're going to get shut down. You're trying to shut down Sly's channel, you're going to fucking fail. So let's see where you get into. Screw you.
Keep it up, lads. You're playing the right game. Now, Dick Dawson, looks to me like you've got something to add as well, mate.
Yeah, I just want to remind everybody. Now, I'm not saying that you should go over to FE Core and see the names of the members. And I'm not saying that you should go to FE Core and then the members' sites and thumb down some of their videos and leave them some comments about how bad their actions are. And I'm not saying that as a shill, we're saying that this kind of action would be a good thing for the community to go and do as a whole, to let them know that hashtag fuck FE Core is real. I'm not saying any of that. These are just some of the things that people do in life. That's it. You know, I'm not responsible. There's nothing I can do. So just remember, I'm not saying find out who they are and make sure you make your voice heard. I'm not saying that at all.
Absolutely. Well, look, that was a very good comment to end on, because actually we're running short on time and I want to get at least a little bit of the next video down. So unless anyone's got any final objections, I'm going to hand over to Dick Dawson to tell us what's up next.
Well, our second video tonight is the temperature of the sun over the flat Earth. This is by YouTube channel Earth Measured. Now, this is Mikhail Vizarasshole or some shit like that. I can't really get it right. And what am I supposed to say? He's one dumb fuck, man. So let's just roll the video and see what he's got to say.
Hi there. Hello to everybody. Here, Earth Measured speaking, Michele Vassallo from Italy. I want to continue with this video, the video in which we began to speak about the temperature of the sun. Science states that in the sun, hot fusion processes are happening, while we state that cold fusion reactions are happening because the sun can't be an incandescent body, due to the fact that it is not 150 million kilometers far from the Earth, but it is high from 6,600 kilometers.
Now, I'd love to cut in here, but I heard Dead Kennedy first, so I'm going to be a gentleman and let him go. Hello, buddy. What did you have to add?
First of all, that accent is tough. I'm not sure I'm fully getting him, but what? Like,
I think he was basically saying the sun cannot be incandescent because it's not 150 million kilometers away. Now, firstly, non sequitur, right? Secondly, the sun's not incandescent. That would be fire. The sun is a nuclear furnace. It's not also, fire.
I don't consider the sun's temperature up for debate. Spectroscopy exists.
There you go. Absolutely. That's easy.
We can tell. Bish, bosh, bash. Kiri Mac, what did you have to add? I think you're on mute, dear. Can't hear you.
Oops.
bloody mute. Sorry, guys.
You're good. Hello, Kiri. What did you have to add?
I think we've potentially got the comment of the day from Ash Scott, who says, do any of them look like they've ever been fucked? Hell, Jaren is going to lose his virginity in jail, probably within the next 5 years.
I shouldn't laugh. I think the man's got a point. Oh,
Ash
genius.
Scott, you're a legend. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much indeed. Any more little golden nuggets we've got to throw out, or was that just the one you wanted?
Fuck FE Core, even though they proved the Earth's rotation on camera, and that's from Mike Walker.
Ha! Yeah, I suppose we should give them that credit at least. They have definitely proven the globe at this point. Brilliant stuff. All right,
They all prove the fucking globe, don't they, the idiots?
Yeah.
They just have to get out of camera.
Every time. Do you know what? Every single flat earther, every one of the big ones has one way or another proven the world is a globe. Ranty, all the Nathans. I mean, you know the list of people. You look through their work. Bob Nadell's the famous one. Phuket Word, he's a classic, demonstrating how everything works. Everything from gravity to the curve to space. He's more of a globe hero than Ranty sometimes. Now look, anyone else want to jump in quickly? D-Kiss, hello mate.
Well, speaking of Jeranism and proving the globe, like everyone knows the classic "That's interesting" moment, but does everyone remember before that when he filmed the ISS to prove that it doesn't exist?
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of proving curvature eclipses that.
and he caught a pretty nice transit of it. It was a decent video, and I was like, okay, what's your point? You found it. Thanks.
Yeah. There she blows. Fucking right. But it's a balloon, don't forget. It's a balloon that happens to be at 400 miles and doing 25,000 miles an hour. But it's a balloon. Definitely a balloon.
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, brilliant stuff. I'm going to ask Robert Leger to hit play on the video, I think.
On the Cancer Tropic to 3,300 kilometers on the Capricorn Tropic. So it is it is near to the Earth. So we have to understand how it is developing its temperature and how it is developing its luminosity. We are saying that there are happening cold fusion reactions. That means that two deuterium atoms are hitting together and they are breaking their bonding energy, and this energy is used to produce the heat. How it is possible to achieve this? Fleischmann and Pons were the first.
DeadKennedyInSpace.
I'm sorry, guys. I don't understand. Like, what are we supposed to be debunking here? Because he's just making statements with nothing behind them. Did anyone see? There was a debate recently between Team Skeptic and Mercury something, where the guy just kept making these outlandish statements, and the entire hour and a half was Team Skeptic going, "Okay, any evidence for that?" And that's kind of my response to this video.
And he just said then they were breaking, bonding, energy. There was three words he put together: breaking, bonding, energy. What's that mean?
That's a good question.
I mean, I don't know if he even knows at this point, really. Do you? I mean, it does sound rather like a random collection of words. Now, look, Casual Spaceman, you look like you wanted to add something to the pile there. What did he have, buddy?
Yeah, well, only sort of fact to it. Did he say the sun is 3,000 kilometers away? Did I hear that right?
Yeah,
yes,
you did.
3,000. I mean, like the moon is 338,000 kilometers away. I mean, that's 1/10 of the distance between here and the moon. The sun, really? Oh God!
Mike Walker
he just pulled that
says
number out of his ass. Sorry.
No, that's exactly what Mike Walker just said. Did you just pull that number from where now?
Did anyone see Sean Hawkins' final video?
Yes, I did. Why don't you tell the people about it for those who haven't?
Well, yeah, basically, he's got a light, which is his light in the ceiling, which is the sun, and then he holds a globe up, which is the moon, and he goes, look at the light on it, and look at the bit you're looking at. It doesn't work, does it? Oh, look, now it'll just go under. You get a fucking eclipse every every night.
Oh, God almighty. Why do they not understand? This is like Riley saying you should have an eclipse every single day. It's just like, oh, fuck, do you not understand how the fucking thing works? There's simple angles of incidence.
The side
and
that's
planes.
facing you and the sun is there. It doesn't work.
Tilt. Earth tilt.
Yeah, exactly, right? That 5 degrees, or it's not 5 degrees even, it's tiny. That tiny little sort of difference off the plane makes all the difference here. Logical Troglodyte, what did you have to add, buddy?
Yeah, this moron just found a phrase that he thought sounded smart and said, hey, that sounds like a good idea, specifically cold fusion, but I'll guarantee you he doesn't have a clue what it means. Oh, because to be quite honest, I don't either. I've read some stuff on this, and I don't get it. I am not a nuclear physicist. I'm not a particle physicist. It is so far beyond me that I just may as well be an amoeba. Yeah, I mean, I know I'm smarter than this jackass, and then he moves on to make a declarative statement about the distance of the sun and then slides out of the way without showing any testing or evidence to support that. It's like, come on, we're just back in Flurfing 101. Give me a break.
Absolutely. Now, Kiri, I think you've got a comment from, was it Dark Knight Apologetics?
Yeah, he said planes would have to dodge the sun if it was that close.
Yeah.
And I just said they would fry. Get it?
Yeah, you're not kidding. A 3,000 mile high sun. I could virtually hop over that. Unbelievable. Compared to the 93 million miles or 150 million kilometers, I think he might have got his numbers wrong. And as for the cold fusion thing, by the way, we pretty much looked into that. There's no way we've managed to make it work, and there's no way we've managed to see that it might work. And the closest that we ever thought we got, we just turned out to be flat out wrong, and they were using a terrible methodology. So I'm sorry, mate, but unless you're prepared to back up what you say more than merely using words you saw on Stargate, I'm afraid you can piss off. Now, anyone else want to throw anything into the pile? Lovely. In that case, Robert, yeah, let's hit play.
End of the 80s arrived to understand how cold fusion is happens, but then they were discredited because it is quite easy to have a lot of energy without so big effort. So so the system now is structured to spend a lot of money with petroleum, with atomic plants, nuclear plants, and so the system doesn't want to have free energy for all people. So they didn't.
Stop. Jutmonkthedrunk Monkey, what did you have to add, buddy?
Right, listen, right. I haven't got a clue about this cold fusion, right? Because, like Logical, way out of my league. But what the fuck is he trying to talk about it? He can't even string a sentence together.
Absolutely. Look, the thing. Yeah, sorry, Dick.
This guy has like all the intelligence of a chicken nugget, and he thinks that just by reading a couple of articles online, and he probably had to skip all the big words so that he could actually make sense of it. He thinks he's got it figured out. You know, it doesn't take 7 or 8 years of intense schooling and on-the-job training and on and on and on. No. I'll just read this little pamphlet and I'll show them how they're wrong. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And what I'll do is I'll just use a couple of the big words that sounded good that I can actually say.
Yeah, quite. He's learned a few off-sounding words that he thinks will impress and beguile the idiots below them. What was that phrase? I forget who it was. Was it P.T. Barnum who said, if you can't... No, it wasn't him, but he said, if you can't astound them with science or stun them with science, then baffle them with bullshit. And that seems to be the approach this chap's taking. DeadKennedyInSpace, what did you have to add?
Yeah, is he like very slowly and monotonically and boringly headed towards a Barnabas Nagy?
He's getting there, isn't it?
That's kind of what it feels like. Is he's going for the sun does cold fusion and we're using petroleum and it's a waste because we could be using cold fusion.
Yeah, absolutely. No, good point. Well made, sir. Excellent as ever. Logical Troglodyte, what did you have to add, mate?
Yeah, I don't know if anybody caught it there at the tail end of that last clip, but he said the magic word I was just waiting for: free energy. Now that's a conspiracy I love to whack upside the head with my club of reason every chance. And don't ask me why I've never made a video about it, because that, other than Flat Earth, that's my next favorite. I mean, God, these guys are so much fun.
Oh, I love it. They go, you know, they...
Oh, Dick Dawson and Jutmonk wanted to get in there, so I'm going to chuck Dick Dawson first, who I heard, and then I'm going to go straight over to you, Jutmonk. Dick.
Yeah, they think, oh, well, I invented it in my head, so if I have, somebody else has actually done it, because the government's always in charge and ahead, and therefore, boom, they just run with the idea that it's already there and exists. It's just mind-boggling. Holy...
Indeed. And on a very, very quick note, before I cut back over to Jutmonk, I just wanted to point out, if they were that obsessed about us using petrol, why do they keep trying to make us use less and less and transfer us over to electric cars and hydrogen cars? Now, Jutmonkthedrunk Monkey, what did you want to say, buddy?
Well, exactly what Logical said. You know, I was looking at free energy and downloaded a video that I was going to do onto my old laptop before it packed up.
Oh, dear.
And I was actually that was around the time I did the Disney one.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Nice.
And the next one was going to be free energy, and my laptop packed up.
Oh, nightmare. Well, look, you've got to get back onto that, mate. That would be brilliant to see you having a crack at those bastards.
I can't
let's
find
face
the video
it.
again.
Oh no. Well, I think the one thing that is worth pointing out about your free energy at this point is that the argument against the free energy device things is sadly always the same. So it gets a bit samey, which is basically the laws of thermodynamics don't allow for it, right?
Yes.
You can't have a perfect retention of energy within a system. There's a thing called entropy, right? Yes. And basically, you always lose energy from the system one way or another. There's just no way around it. The closest you're ever going to get is using local resources to keep something powered, like solar power or wind, something which is renewable and regenerative. But even those things, millions of years though they might last, the sun's going to burn out. The atmosphere will burn away, and the planet will fall into the sun. Free energy just ain't a thing. There's no such thing as a free lunch. Casual Spaceman.
Yeah, just going back to the free energy thing. I mean, Logical Troglodyte could probably correct me in this. Am I right in saying that because I'm not a science person, but am I right in saying that you can't take energy away, you can't add energy, you can only move energy?
That's right.
Is that correct?
That's exactly right.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go.
Yeah, it's all transferable, but you ain't making it and you ain't going to lose it. All you can do is pass it around with losses due to the conversion on the way, right? But the losses are still there. You know, heat loss, it's still heat. It's still there in the universe. It's just useless now, right?
Yeah, so energy's always there. It's just that we're transferring it into from one medium to another medium.
Yeah, entropy, right? Order, disorder.
Perfect closed system, right? There's no such thing as a perfect closed organized system. It will always move to a system of disorder over time. And now it looks to me like DeadKennedyInSpace had something to add.
Actually, we already covered it. I was struggling to find the words. The word is entropy, and I was struggling to because I'm no AB science, but in my head I was just sitting there going, well, basic physics. In order to create energy, you have to consume something else, right? So there is no free energy. And entropy, that's the word.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I mean, look, there's that thing, you both said it now, but basically energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be converted. It's probably the only eternal thing in the universe that we know about. And it's probably a good argument why the Big Bang was not the beginning of all time and space, because all of the energy that's ever existed was there as well. But yeah, basically, I mean, you make an excellent point. Not a bad one. Look, I think I'm going to get Robert Legere to hit play on the video. We'll get one more little section done. I don't think we're going to finish it this week, lads, unless anyone's really desperate to get to the end. We'll have one more go. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Lovely. Let's hit play.
The attention that they deserved, but they arrived to lose their job. Italy studied a lot the cold fusion with the public funds. But then they stopped to receive this money, and so they had to stop their research. But they arrived to describe quite well what is happening, and I have read the results of the Italian research, so I can explain what happens with the cold fusion. It is important to start with a palladium cathode. Palladium is a metal. In which, with electrolytic processes...
Stop. We got to stop because he's about to try and tell you how cold fusion works, and what he's going to do is he's going to relay the methodology of the chaps in the UK who basically tried this the first time round. And I'm sorry, but one, the methodology was massively unsound. A lot of the things they attributed to neutron production, it turns out, weren't really justified in the end. Every single person who then tried out the experiment then found out it didn't work. The two original scientists were slightly disgraced because they raised this press conference to tell everyone what they found, and it turned out that they were kind of fucking wrong. And lastly, the reason the Italian government did it was because they thought cold fusion, all of this extra energy that's easy to attain, we'll research into that, and it took them exactly 0.57 picoseconds to go, oh well, this is bullshit, and drop that shit faster than a hot rock. Point made. Has anyone else got something they want to add?
Yeah, because it's one of those things where if AB was here to actually, tell us how the real deep math works, there's some things that are just an impossibility. So stop barking up the wrong tree. All you're going to find is dry dog piss from the last one that went by.
All it basically was, for those who are interested, cold fusion was the idea that by producing an electric current through this sort of setup, and I would encourage people to go out and look at this for themselves. They were basically creating neutron production, which would then trigger a sort of a chain reaction of fusion, that you could use the neutrons to impact into these particles and cause this fusion to happen on a small level. And though it was happening, there was this cold fusion. There was no sustained reactions. It didn't last long enough. It didn't produce energy. It was simply a byproduct of the very lower levels of the sort of quantum physics we're talking about. Now, I'm not going to bore you all with this shit. So I think it's going to go. We're going to have time to go around the table now, get some thoughts from people, and some final, shilling for what they've got for the week before we say goodbye. So I'm going to start at the top of the list with our illustrious guest. There's that word again. It's the Casual Spaceman. Hello, mate. Look, what do you think of the stuff we've seen today? And do you have any things you want to tell the audience about again? Some shilling that you want to do? It could be your stuff, could be someone else's, could be content, could just be talking more about the FE core. What have you got to say?
Illustrious, that's very kind of you. Thank you very much. I'm not sure about illustrious, but anyway, thank you very much. No, just final words on that video. I mean, you guys, that's your kind of territory rather than my sort of territory. But yeah, I've definitely learned a bit tonight anyway. So, no, I want to do a bit more of a shilling actually about you guys more than anything else. I was saying to you guys before the show started that I think this show, and I think pretty much, I'm sure the audience agree with me as well, this show is just getting better and better and better each week. And I think tonight, actually, I'm quite proud to be part of it because it's gone so smoothly.
Here.
The production side of things is just all worked perfectly, from the presentation. I mean, you got Robert in the background. He's doing all the work with the production, and I think he's doing an awesome job. It couldn't have gone any smoother. Robert's actually one of my Patreons, so I've got to say this anyway. But no, I genuinely mean it. No, I don't think he hasn't been doing it for long, but I think he's done an absolutely first-class job. I really, really do. Well done, Robert. Appreciate it.
And always be nice to the punters, absolutely. Now, Kiri Mac, have you got any questions or comments that you'd like to give to Casual Spaceman while we've still got some time?
Sure. Right at the beginning, Clifford Reynolds asked if we could ask Casual Spaceman to predict when humans will land on Mars.
Oh, that's a $6 million question.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, SpaceX and Elon Musk, he's saying that they're going to be probably landing in 2024, right about the time that NASA landing on the moon. I think that's a bit ambitious, to be honest with you. I predict probably by the end of the 2020s, we might. But I'll be quite happy if it happens before my life ends. If I could just if I could just see those first humans, I will die a happy man. I'll be quite happy about it. So I couldn't say exactly when. It's hard to say because there's still a hell of a lot of challenges to go to overcome that. There's still quite a few challenges just to get back to the moon alone anyway. But the complications of getting to Mars and the dangers and why we're actually there as well, there's still some things we don't actually know. More things are going to be uncovered with the Mars 2020 rover that's going to be landing on 2021 and doing a lot more experiments experiments and some quite crucial ones. So we'll find out a lot more, but there's still a whole lot more to go. So you just don't know what's going to happen, between then and now. You just never know.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm hoping at least by the end of the 2020 some point.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. Now, any more questions, Kiri?
We
Comments, questions, anything?
Oh, well, we had a comment earlier which I wanted to read out. It's from Donut Survivor. He said that he saw the
That's a
Shills.
great name.
It's a brilliant name, right? He said he saw the Shills over at Unirock and just came to check it out. So big up to Donut Survivor.
Oh, yeah. And actually, a big shout out to Unirock as well, because I'm a big fan of the show. I've been going there for ages, chatting in with him in the chat. He has been chilling out for us on his channel, and we think we might be able to get him on the show. So we'll have to see how that one turns out.
Yes.
But anyway, Unirock's absolute legend. We're massive fans of the guy. If anyone listening here doesn't know him, and God knows how that happened, get the hell over there right the fuck now.
Oh, yeah.
He's quality. Right, now, look, I'm going to go to Dick Dawson next. What have you got to say? You got any last thoughts and shillings to do before we say goodbye?
Well, I will say that in the background, it is actually confirmed that Unirock will be on our show, and we're just setting the date. Yeah, it is confirmed. We're just setting the date. So, there you go. Everybody watching right now just got to hear it first. And in the background, World Model Feud's got a couple things that'll be hopefully soon. The switch into the school year has slowed me down. It's been pretty hard to get a hold of time to really get things moving, but it won't be too much longer. So, stick around and watch that space. Good shit coming.
Cool, exciting stuff. Right. Okay, look, Logical Troglodyte, what about you? Final thoughts and shillings for the week.
Final thought, Cold Fusion guy is just a moron. I've been looking at the live chat here, and I noticed that Steven Steen is in the chat. Hi, Steve. And I noticed a couple of minutes ago he said something about making another video. So for those of you who don't know, Steven made his first Flat Earth video about a week or so ago, and I had a wonderful time chatting with him in his comment section about that video. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's interesting. But Steve, before you go and make a second video, how about you plug in the holes of the research and the logical reasoning that I pointed out to you on that first one? Then we'll be okay. And as far as the Logic and Reason show goes, as soon as we finish in the next day or two, getting that channel all dressed up with channel art and our teaser trailer to kind of show what the channel's all about, we'll be sending out links to everybody. So watch that space. And in the meantime, if you're looking for some entertainment, anybody's channel that's on this panel is worth watching. And on mine, I have a couple of little special treats, a couple of small 1.5 minute videos that is actually showing the nature and game preserve in and around Cave Town. Check it out.
Yeah, what a pro. Listen to that. See, you guys all have a lot to learn from this guy. Okay, next on the list, let's go to DeadKennedyInSpace. Hello, buddy. Final thoughts, shillings for the week.
Sometimes people ask me why I do this conspiracy debunk stuff, why I hurt my brain with this. The reason why is because at the end of the day, I end up learning so much more about the truth of the universe, and that is so much more fascinating than any of these conspiracies. And I just want to close with a quotation from cosmologist Edward Harrison. Hydrogen begins to wonder where it came from and where it is going.
Nice. That was a beautiful little statement. That's excellent, man. I'm going to have to get that one off you and find out who it's from. I'm going to steal that and use it myself. Right, let's see now. We've talked to DeadKennedyInSpace, Dick Dawson, and Logical. So let's go to the Sarcastic Barman. Hello, Squire. Any final thoughts and shillings for the week?
Oh, crazy deuterium fucking Italian crazy man who thinks the sun is far too close. He's just a fucking nutball. Just fucking nuts. No regard for the sun speeding up. No regard for the fact it's twice as close, shouldn't be twice as fucking big. He's just fucking talking out of his ass.
Indeed.
It just takes the piss. Oh, and I want to complain my buzzer broke.
I wondered why I wasn't hearing from you, because I can see you on my list right now and you never popped in. Well, look, as it goes, mate, we're getting about a 3-second delay from you, right?
That's my internet connection.
Yeah, I think it might be the problem.
Delay is running. Yeah.
Oh, well, look,
it's all my side. I press the button, it'd go red, and then it'd go off. I'm like, oh.
That is great.
But it was good sitting here listening to so many clever voices.
Isn't it fun, right? All right, well, look, thank you very much indeed. Do you want to know, have you got any final shillings for the week?
I've got nothing to shill for myself, so just subscribe to everybody on this panel, subscribe to Spaceman, subscribe to all previous guests and future guests we will ever have on. Yeah, there was one guy that I saw this week and I forgot his name. I'll remember it for Saturday's show, and hopefully I'll have better internet.
Oh, excellent. Now, Jutmonkthedrunk Monkey, can you hear me out there, buddy? Are you still with us?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Hey, listen to that. So, have you got any final thoughts and shillings for the week?
Well, this ignorant, dumbass, gormless fucking plum in Italy. I mean, he's just fucking. He's just reciting a few things that he's memorized, and he doesn't have a fucking clue what any of it means. You know, tonight's show, man. Come on. That has rocked everyone.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, man.
It's been pretty
very
damn
good.
hasn't it?
Nailed it, everyone. Well done, man.
Awesome
Indeed. Now,
stuff.
look,
Now,
we've been around the
everyone
table.
in the chat as well. I haven't been able to be in the chat, and I'm sorry, but I absolutely love you all. And just keep on nailing them fucking dumbass globe-denying fucktards.
Absolutely. Now, look, I'm going to go. What I'm going to do is, I've been around the table once already, but before we say goodbye, I'm going to turn back to Kiri Mac first, just to check if there's any last comments or question, and then we're going to go to our guest for the very last statement of the day. So, Kiri Mac, have you got anything last that you wanted to add?
Yeah, I have one thing here. So, Monochromatic Light Source was reminding us earlier that BM Furball is appealing for people in the Southern Hemisphere to help him. Sleeping Warrior has agreed to accept the globe Earth if he can meet his goals. So, I'm going to put a link in the chat right now to BM Furball's video explaining that. If any of you guys are in the Southern Hemisphere, go check him out.
Yeah, I can double that motion. Absolutely. Take part. That's going to be a brilliant little scientific experiment to get engaged in. Now, Sarcastic Barman, I've already talked to you, mate. No offense, but we got a bigger guest today. Casual Spaceman. I always mix you two up. I'm sorry, mate. You said you wanted to add one final statement, right?
Sarcastic.
Yeah, that's it. The Castastic Spacebar. So, exactly what would you like to add?
It's getting worse.
Great.
No, I've actually just come to a decision actually while you're being on the show, and it was about the question keeps coming up time and time ago, and there's lots of misunderstandings about why we didn't go back to the moon for the last 50 years. I've decided I'm actually going to do a video on it because there's actually more to it than just budget. One word came out early on was said budget, but there's a lot more to it than that. It's probably going to be quite a long video, but it's going to be a project I'll work on for the next number of weeks until I get it done. And I'll do all about it because I remember reading a book about it quite a while ago, and there's a lot to it. So yeah, I'd like to do that. But what I could just say is thank you very much for having me on the show. You know I love this show anyway, so really appreciate it.
Having you on, mate.
As soon as Kerry sent me the message, just say because the show's just getting better all the time, how could I refuse? So thank you very much for having me on. Much appreciated. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you
mate.
so much.
Absolutely. Well, look, what a wonderful note to end the show on. Now, look, I think we're there. It's been a long road, but it felt like only a moment, and it'll only be another couple of days until you see us again. So keep yourselves busy in the meantime. Get yourself over to the creators of the show, our guest channels, and if you really feel the love, you can obviously like and subscribe to us, as if you didn't know that already. But I would like to make a personal plea to those with us today to hit those like buttons, right? Because it makes a really big difference to us to see how many people sort of are liking and not liking the show. It gives us a really good idea of whether or not people are sort of really enjoying it or not. So if you do like the show, just hit that little blue button. Can't hurt you, but it'll really help us. I think that's pretty much it. Let's have a look here. You've been with us through the highways and byways of our many and varied channels of wonder, especially our guest, Mr. Casual Spaceman. He's got some great stuff coming out, so don't forget to get over there and check him now. I think it's just up to me to say thanks for coming. I hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to come back Saturdays and Thursdays for more. I'll wish you a good morning, good afternoon, or good night, wherever you are. And that just leaves me to pass back to Mr. Dick Dawson to lead us out.
Well, people, do yourselves a favor and steer clear of the History Channel. I mean, God forbid somebody catches you watching that shit and thinks you're a fucking moron. It ain't worth the risk. Second, Flat Earth isn't a state of mind, it's a state of stupid, and it's seriously low on the fucking list. So get yourself vaccinated. Get down to your local library and read a fucking book. It could save your life. We're the Shills. Thanks to the Casual Spaceman, and what can I tell you? Goodbye.
Goodbye.